So I've put it back, it's nice and safe. And we've still got this doll here. That's the eyes follow you. But apparently if you're with the other dolls, you cause a problem and knock them over or something. Is that true? If that's the case, could you give me a sign? Could you knock or something just to let me know if you don't like the other dolls? And then they got some dolls here. Get in focus. Get in focus. Right. It's because it's getting darker now. So the camera's struggling. Yeah, the light's beginning to fade. So the camera's struggling to get in focus a bit. It reminds me, there's got the other dolls in the other room. Yeah, you got these ones as well. Didn't really look at them, to be honest, when I came in. Just gave them a quick glance. But yeah, look, got these dolls. I don't know what it is with dolls. Seem to be the real thing now, don't they, for paranormal activity. I think you can blame Annabelle for this. I feel sorry for this one. Look, it's in a bag. I looked at the boxes, and one of them said 1928, so I don't know whether that's authentic or whether it's just what it says on the box. If that is authentic, that's quite an old doll. So yeah, that one's the creepiest looking, isn't it? You're creepy, you know that. Well, obviously you don't know that because you're a doll. And notice they've got another big Ouija board here as well, but I only use my own, really, to be honest, than somebody else's. So there you go. Ooh. I can tell I'm getting old, you know. Keep getting up and down all the time, right? Let me let's move back a little bit. I know what I haven't done. K2. I haven't done a K2 sweep round the space. Right, let's go upstairs. Let's start up there then. Yeah, I haven't even done a K2 sweep around. Right. See if there's any spikes. Now, none of the electricity upstairs works. They're just wires actually hooked into anything. So, see, nothing. So any wires that you see aren't actually connected to anything. So, in theory, that means there should be no K2 spikes at all up here. So let's have a look. Okay. Just out of interest, you never know. We'll just do a little walk around, just see if any kind of spikes on the K2 at all. Let's have a look at that. That's interesting. Why is that spike in here? It's not because of the metal. If there's anybody in spirit that can hear my voice, if you can see the box that I'm holding in my hand, can you try to touch it for me, please? Or can you try to get as close to it as you can? That was interesting though. I don't know why all of a sudden kind of spiked up. I mean, this is where that bag got rustled. Yeah, nothing. But that's interesting that just suddenly went off for like no reason at all. And I said there's no electrics up here or anything like that, and no lead in the wall, because otherwise that'd be going off. Because lead in the wall, especially old buildings, if there's lead in the wall, it can make the K2s flicker and go off. There is some water heater or something, but no, nothing. Well, that was interesting though, that. And it's definitely not the floor, because what we've seen underneath here, there's nothing. And none of the wiring's live, so I find that quite interesting that it suddenly went off like that. And I do feel, I mean, it's cold up here anyway, but I do feel like a bit of a tingle, so interesting. This is that bag that Charmaine said that chap saw somebody sitting on when he tried to come up here and have a bit of a kip. Yeah, it was interesting that the K2 went off though. I can't find a logical reason for that. Outside of interference outside of the building, but then it would be doing it more, you know, like a, I don't know, walkie-talkie or some kind of radio receiver or something. But I mean, who uses radio receivers anymore? You know what I mean? CBs and all that. I've got to admit, this room, out of the two rooms, I mean, the other room's got, what was that? Sorry, is that? Out of the two rooms, this room has the most creepy feel about it. What would be? I don't get what it's called. It's something on the wall. I was here a minute ago, and it wasn't doing it. Oh, there's nothing. There's no lead in the walls. That was probably me just breaking my K2. Yeah, look, nothing. It's interesting that it's fluctuating, but there's no, yeah, look, it's like there's no logical source that I can find. I find that interesting though, because of everywhere it's going to do it, that's where the bag got rustled. And I find it really interesting that actually that's just spiking crazily, look. If there is somebody in spirit that's here with me, could you please come as close to me as you possibly can and try and touch the box that I'm holding in my hand? Can you let me know you're here? Give me a sign. Could you rustle that bag again? Interesting. Interesting that it's going off just randomly. I find that quite fascinating, to be honest. Right, I'll try not to trip over stuff. So we're in the bathroom. Let's do a quick sweep around here. That's a toilet. You don't really want to see that, do you? Nope. Nothing there. So let's go back downstairs again. You know what's weird? It's probably just because I'm moving, but there's gaps in the floorboards. And it's a couple of times I've been walking and it almost seems like something's moved underneath. But that could be just because of the angle when I'm moving and there's stuff on the floor. So that might be just an illusion more than an actual thing. Now you try walking down the stairs, filming yourself holding a K2. Like you trip and fall. No, me. Come on, doll. If you really got spirit attached to you, make the lights on the doll go up. No, make the lights on the box go up, not the doll. That's stupid. Make the lights on the box go up. Okay. Yes, I'm breaking my K2. Right, we're back out here again. So quite interesting that the one place that it was really going off was the fireplace upstairs. It was going off quite a lot. Right, see now, you see that's just staying on 2. There probably is some lead in the wall there. Right, yeah, look. If it stays on a certain point like that, I don't know, actually, no, it should just stay on a certain point like that. But it could be maybe there is a bit of lead in the wall, maybe, because it's reacting all around the same place. Hold on, let's have a look. Okay, right, I've got my torch out again. Let's poke up the chimney time again. I'm assuming, I'll turn the torch off. Assuming that. Why do I keep dropping everything on the floor today? Okay, alright. I'm assuming there's a bit of lead. I noticed here. I think that's probably a bit of lead or something. That's what's causing the K2 to fluctuate there. But upstairs, in the room above, I can't quite explain that because it's not fluctuating right against the wall. It's when you're actually moving like down where the fireplace is itself, which is a bit more weird. But yeah, I'm thinking that this is because there's that piece of lead going across. Right, here we go. I think we can debunk that one anyway, the one down here. Right. Why it's doing it there? Oh, that's going crazy. Why is that going crazy there? That's a bit weird. This is just a cabinet. There's no lead here. Ah, that's a little bit odd as well. What are the photos? So what are you doing, Mark? Right, I'm trying to rule out the obvious. Again, wiring, even though there's none active upstairs. Lead in the walls, because it's an old building. That kind of thing. So I'm trying to rule out the obvious. There's going to be a fuse box around here somewhere. I haven't found it yet, and that's obviously going to cause lots of K2 activity. But I can't really explain why it's going off like that. And it's going off a lot. That's not just a bit, that's a lot. That's crazy. So there's something here that's causing this to go bananas, but yeah, look, it's going. Look, it's not doing it now. I thought that's not lead. Mate, that's going bananas and I don't know why. So there's obviously something. If you're going to look at it from an investigator point of view, you know, spiritual and all that, there must be something in this cabinet that's got some kind of spirit connection to it. There's something. There's definitely something. That's a bit weird. Right, I'm going to leave that door open actually. There's definitely something connected to that. There's my mirror. I'd expect fluctuations on my mirror anyway. He says nothing's happening. Shall I shake it, mate? Oh no, there we go. That's definitely a bit weird. Right, the fact it's spiking like it is, I'm finding that a little bit strange. I've got to be honest. So we've got the old Arga. Let's see. Now again, is there lead or something? What will happen if I get the K2 on camera? It's because I'm doing two things at once. Right. Now the thing is, if it's like lead in the walls, for example, or a fuse box, it would not only just go off, it would stay going on, it would carry on doing it constantly. It wouldn't just fluctuate and then start and all that kind of stuff. So I find that interesting that we've actually, if it was the metal, then it would be going off all the time. So I find that quite interesting that, again, just make sure it's not. Again, I wonder if that's like lead. Maybe there's like a layer of lead which is under these fireplaces. That would make sense for that. But it fluctuating and going off like it has done randomly, I can't quite explain. So if I'm getting my paranormal investigator head on, there's 3 places that are of interest throughout this investigation. One of them is the Arga, which would make sense because apparently a paranormal group had it where the door opened and then something fell down. So it would make sense that the Arga is one possibility, if I'm being honest. So that's one. The other one is this. There's definitely something really kicking off here. And it's not in the flooring or anything else. I'm standing not quite in the middle of the room, but it's definitely something connecting to this cabinet because it just keeps going off. So that's my number 2. And my number 3 is this bedroom. I don't think it's just the fireplace. Look, it's this bedroom. There's something about this bedroom. And I've got to admit, when I come in here, I get kind of like a bit of a cold shiver and stuff. So there is something interesting about this bedroom as well. So I need to get a camera in here later on. So 3 focal points at the moment with the OK2. So actually doing a sweep around was quite successful, really. That's given me a little bit of an idea of what I can do. So I quite like that. So yeah, I'm going to sit in my little perch again. I like this chair. I'm going to sit back in there again, but it's going to give me something to think about. So there's 3 places that are potentially of interest as the night progresses with some of the equipment and experiments I'm actually going to do. So yeah, pretty cool. So it's about 7:15. It's getting darker outside, so I'm just waiting really. So it's still a little bit too light for me to put my night vision cameras on and start the investigation properly. I want to wait until it's pretty dark outside before I do that. So just a waiting game. This is what they don't tell you about investigating, is that a lot of it is about waiting and hanging around. So it's getting pretty dark outside now, so I think I'm going to knock all these lights out, get all the cameras on, and start this investigation. Actually get going with it now. It seems like it's been forever. I think I got here a little bit too early, really, to be honest, but at least I've got used to the sounds in the building and the surrounding area. So now it's knock all the lights out and let's get on with this investigation. Right, so I've set my laser up. So over there, I've got my laser just around that corner. And I've got the laser grid, which is blocking this area off, as you can see. Over there, beyond the curtain, the camera is still on the floor, which is now videoing up the stairs. And the camera at the top, which is videoing the dolls in the other bedroom. That also is on as well. I've turned my scry mirror around slightly, so I've got the camera here, so it can obviously hopefully see it on the camera. And on the floor, I've got the Ouija board, the K2, one of those little boxes from this cabinet, and that pack of cards. So just a case to see what happens now. So I'm going to resort to moving over to my night vision cameras for the rest of this for a bit, and we'll see what the night brings. I'm looking forward to this. So I'm in the room with the creepy looking dolls, and I thought I would just try the Ouija board. Now, those that know me, I'm quite dubious over Ouija boards anyway, but is there anybody in spirit that wants to speak to me, that wants to step forward, please? If there is, could you please try to move the planchette on the board to let me know that you're here? Could you please use my energy and your own energy, of course, and can you try to channel it into the planchette that I'm touching? And can you try to move the planchette in any direction that you want, just to let me know that you're here? I don't mean you any harm, and I certainly do not mean you any disrespect. I just want to speak to you. If there's anybody maybe attached to one of these dolls in spirit, could you try to pull the planchet from out of my hand? Could you try to move it to one side of the board for me, please? Come on, Spirit, use my energy. Try to pull the planchet from out of my touch. Just move it in any direction you want. Just pull it away from me. Let's try actually without any hands on it. So if you do want to come forward and you do want to speak to me, can you try to move that planchet, please? Just to let me know you're here. Can you try to move the planchet for me, please? Just to let me know you're here. I've still got the football at the top of the stairs if you want to give it a kick so it moves. And of course, I've got the planchet here on the Ouija board. If you want to speak to me, this is a great way to do it. All you need to do is just put the energy, channel the energy into the planchet and make it move. It moves quite easy, look. See, it moves quite easy, Spirit. So if you want to try, focus your attention. Use your energy, use my energy if you need to. That's my stomach, by the way. To try to move that planchet, I would be very grateful. Or can you make a noise? Can you make some kind of sound to let me know you're here? Again, I want to speak to either William or Thomas or the little boy. Sorry, I don't know your name. But if any of you are here or anybody who's associated and attached to this building is here in spirit, can you please do whatever it is that you can do to let me know you're here? Whether it's move this planchet, kick the ball, show yourself in front of the cameras I've got dotted around, open or close the Arga door downstairs, or move something in the kitchen. Literally anything that you can do, I would be really grateful for, please. Come on, can you move that planchet? Come on. Channel your energy into it. Come on, move that planchet for me. Just push it to one side. So if there is anybody in spirit that can hear my voice, if you want to step forward to let me know that you're here, can you please give me some kind of sign? Can you maybe knock on the door? Knock on this pane of glass here. Throw a stone. Basically anything that you can do to let me know that you're here in the building, please. I have multiple cameras locked off around the space. I've got one which is now pointing onto the Arga. So if anybody in spirit wants to try to open the Arga door and close it again. I would be very grateful. Or do anything in the kitchen. If this was your home, that was your kitchen, could you do something in there for me, please? I just want to speak to spirit. I just want to speak to you. So I just need you to step forward and speak to me, please. And again, I've got the ball which is at the top of the stairs. If you want to give it a little kick. If there is a child here in spirit, a little boy, I'd love you to kick that ball, mate. Love you to do it. Could you give that ball a bit of a kick for me so it comes down the stairs? Again, any sign, anything that you can do to let me know that you're here, please. camera's probably just struggling because of the dim light. It's probably going in and out of focus because of that. I don't think it'll be anything else. A bit creepy when it does it, mind you, but yeah, man, it's creepy when it does that, actually, when it goes out of focus. Give it a little bit more light. I'm trying not to put too much light into the space because I've got my night vision camera in the kitchen bit, and the other one's at the top of the stairs now, which is focused on the ball in case the ball moves. So I don't want to put too much light in there because there's no point having it on night vision otherwise. So. Come on, spirit. Come and let me know you're here. Give me a sign. Somebody was around earlier on because there was definitely stuff that was happening. And my laser pen acted really weird. Really weird. So there's definitely someone around. I just need you to actually show yourself in a very friendly and non-scary way, please. So I'm going to try the spirit box a little bit just to see if I get any response on that. I'm going to leave it on a blank frequency at the moment. I'm not going to move it just to see. See if there's anybody in spirit that does want to step forward and communicate, please. If there is, could maybe you try to speak through the box that I've got on the floor? Is there anybody in spirit that wants to speak to me, please? Could you try to speak through the box on the floor? Is there anybody that would like to speak to me, please? So I've tried the sweep rate, so it's actually moving through the channels now. But obviously that does mean that there is a very good chance there's going to be radio stations coming on as well. So that as an example. So is there anybody in the spirit that wants to step forward and speak to me, please? William, can you hear me? I want to speak to William, please. Can you hear me, William? What about Thomas? Is Thomas here? Is there anybody in spirit that can speak through the box on the floor? Is there anybody who can actually speak to me, please? Do you know how to do it? Can you try and speak through the box on the floor? See, the problem is we're doing it like this. It's really hard to know if it's the radio station, which, let's face it, 99.9% of the time it is. So it's really hard to know when you're jumping through the frequencies like this. That's why I'm really kind of very skeptical over the spirit boxes. If there is anybody that can hear me in spirit, can you please say, I'm here? No. Can you say, I'm here? So, what an interesting night's investigation at the railway cottage in Mansfield. Very interesting. Yeah, I had some experiences I can't quite explain. So, for example, when I first got here, I heard a loud kind of bang upstairs. Almost sounded like a wardrobe door shutting. Went up to investigate, couldn't find anything. Spent hours here in the property and I never heard the sound again. And it definitely was inside the building, so that was a bit odd, that one. Also, what else happened? Also, when I took a kip upstairs in one of the bedrooms, I made a makeshift bed on the floor, so I was sleeping, and I think something woke me up, or I think I woke up and then something happened. But the fireplace behind me, which has got some wood in it, has got like a clear plastic bag in there as well. And it got kind of like, it rustled, almost like somebody put the hand on it and kind of moved it. So that was really interesting as well. So I couldn't give an explanation for that because the shone a torch up and a camera up the chimney. It's blocked, so there's no drafts coming down or anything. It never happened for the rest of the night or obviously for the day while I was here. It was really weird, but it was really loud. It was behind my head. and it definitely was somebody rustling the bag. It was very strange, very odd. But the biggest one for me, actually, let me just get it, is my laser pen. It's actually working. Look, if you can see that or not, but so it's actually working. And it didn't. It was playing up. It kept being switched off, and it kept being switched on. It was so strange. I thought the power had actually gone on it, and then it came back on again. And then it went off again. Then it came back on again, and I actually tested it afterwards, and it's still working. And I left it on, and it was absolutely fine. There was nothing. So I cannot explain that. That was the weirdest thing. It was almost like, and it kind of felt like somebody was in the room as well. It was really strange. But the fact it kept being switched on and switched off and all that kind of stuff, it was odd. And it's certainly, I know it's a new piece of kit for me, but I have tested it, and it's certainly strange. It doesn't normally do that. It's really weird. So for me, that is really an unexplained one. That's very odd. And outside of that, I had some K2 activity, which I couldn't quite explain as well. It wasn't laid in the walls. It wasn't electrics or anything like that. So that was a bit odd. And that was about it. That's about what I experienced as far as I'm aware. Obviously, I've got to analyse all the footage. I've got like 4 cameras worth of footage I've got to look through. I've got to listen to the EVP, see if there's any audio, for EVPs. I've got to look for all this and analyse it. And it's going to take me a while, but it was a great experience. I'm really glad I came. Is the place haunted? I would say there's definitely something here. It just didn't want to step forward and actually communicate with me. I tried various ways, but it didn't want to do it. But I definitely do think there is something here at the Railway Cottage in Mansfield. It just didn't want to talk to me. It just wanted to mess with my equipment and make some strange noises and things. So that's all it wanted to do. But there's definitely something here. It just didn't want to talk to me.